In the United States, we discard about 80 billion pounds of food waste per year. That's about 220 pounds of food waste for every person living in America. The amount of food we waste equates to about 30 to 40% of our entire food supply. Not only is wasted food not feeding the people who go hungry every day, it's also a waste of the water and energy it took to produce that food. Food also takes up more space in U.S. landfills than anything else, negatively affecting climate change because it releases methane, ultimately contributing to 11% of the world's total greenhouse gas emissions. So where does our food waste come from? Most of it, about 43%, comes from our homes. A close second, about 40%, comes from restaurants and grocery stores. What if we could rescue some of the food going to waste in our grocery stores and get it to the people who need it most? I'm Jason Clark, a slow-witted Scandinavian who just happens to oversee the second largest charitable food distributor in Washington state, and I have the crazy, audacious belief that hunger in America can not only be reduced, but completely eradicated. This is my quest to build an army made up of people just like you and me to make this dream a reality. In 2005, my team and I at Second Harvest had a big idea. What if we could rescue some of the slightly dated food from the shelves of our local grocery stores and get it to the people in our community who needed it most before it was sent to the landfill? Well, we knew one thing for sure. We couldn't do it alone. So we stopped by Rosauer's grocery store on 29th Avenue on Spokane South Hill, and we talked with Harry, the store manager. I don't know, Harry, if you remember, this was probably 15 years ago. We sat down and chatted, and we talked about this crazy idea of picking up your leftovers.
I remember that, yeah. You came in, and one of the things that I thought instantly was, that's a great idea.
Oh, good.
Because unfortunately at that time, a large part of that just went into the garbage dumpster.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, we can put it in somebody's hands and make it useful, and you guys were going to do all the work. So, hey, that was great.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
One of the experiences we have all the time is we'll run into folks, and they mean real, they have great ideas and they want to be helpful, and they'll say things like, have you guys ever thought of like picking up leftovers at grocery stores? And the answer is like, yeah. We're doing a lot of grocery stores now.
We do that, yeah.
How does it work here in the store? Like, tell us what the process is.
You're constantly looking at your product, making sure that it is in code, that it's still saleable. The bakery department, they have the items that have to be pulled because, they've reached their code date. But under no circumstances are those items not usable.
So how does all that good food get from the store to the people who need it most? It's picked up at the store and delivered to local neighborhood food pantries weekly and often daily by phenomenal volunteers, people just like you and me. One of the incredible volunteers that has helped make the grocery rescue operation a success from the very beginning is Pat Schaefer. Pat works with Mike Thompson from Second Harvest on our grocery rescue program. Pat, you're one of the great volunteers at Southside Pantry. You've been coming here to Rosauer's to pick up food. Tell us how'd you get started on this adventure? Where did it begin?
Well, I started volunteering with the actual day we hand out food, which is Saturdays. And someone noticed I had a truck and said, hey, Pat, how would you like to actually pick up the groceries from the stores? And I said, well, I can do that. So here I am.
Here you are. So what's the process? What happens when you show up here at the store?
I'll come, I'll ring the bell, and the employees back here will open the door up for me. I'll come in, stay out of the way. This is a business, a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
And I'll go and pick up from the dairy area and the produce. Typically, there's a whole lot of produce.
Yeah.
And then also the deli area and the meat section. And I'll come back through and load it all up and get the bakeries and take it out. So today we have a metric ton of bakery, not literally, but a whole lot.
All right, so this is my colleague Mike. He runs our grocery rescue program. Mike, tell us a little bit about how's this thing work? What's the magic behind the grocery rescue program?
I'll tell you, the magic is it's almost on autopilot. What happens is we have about 200 stores as a whole in our service area. We pair them up with local food banks and feeding centers that pick up the product. And boy, volunteers make the magic happen. They really do. The store receivers, the store managers, they are so committed to making sure that this product gets to people in need. It's just humbling to watch. It provides great variety for the food banks because a lot of times, we don't necessarily have the budget to be buying tomatoes and green peppers all the time, or the meats and stuff from the deli. So it provides a lot of that product that we don't necessarily have regularly. Yeah. This provides it regularly for the food banks. Really, the main relationship is between the food banks and the stores. I kind of help out. I'm the resource, but other than that, the magic happens between these guys right here or this guy right here. So.
There's plenty of us. It's not just me.
Yeah. It's a team sport for sure.
Yeah.
We've made plenty of mistakes over the years, and early on when we started Grocery Rescue, we used to send our drivers and our trucks out to pick everything up. We started to run into some problems. What was the big shift from your point of view? What happened?
I would say just efficiency of distribution. And as Harry was saying, there's a lot of things that are approaching code date. Still great product, but they're approaching code date. For us to get all that product back in, sort through it, distribute it back out, just took too long. This way, it can be getting to the food bank today and be handed out, be getting to people in need this afternoon, tomorrow. So that efficiency and that speed to market, if you will, is amazing. It just really cuts the barriers to feeding people.
All right. So Mike, how did this all begin? When did it start?
Well, it started right here at this store as our first store in 2005, and it has just grown steadily over the years. Today, we partner with about 200 stores, a few restaurants, and 130 food banks, feeding centers pick up at those 200 stores. Yeah. And it comes out on whole, it's about 13 million pounds of foods that are distributed yearly through this program.
And how often does this whole thing happen?
Pretty much daily.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, every day. And it depends. It's all custom fit to each store. How often you need us to pick up. Some stores are daily, 7 days a week. Some stores that are smaller are kind of, we'll call you when we have stuff, which could be 2-3 days a week. So.
Wow. Well, Pat has a pickup and he has a couple free days. So. The generosity of each of the 200 plus stores still blows me away every day, as do the people like Pat, who on their own time load up this food and deliver it to dozens and dozens of food pantries across eastern Washington and North Idaho. Pat delivers his food to the Southside Food Pantry in partnership with Southside Christian Church. I helped Pat unload his haul from Rose Hours with Cliff Rigsby, President and CEO of Rose Hours. Cliff and I helped sort the food with Nicole Caballero, Food Pantry Operations Coordinator for the Southside Food Bank. So, Cliff, we just talked to Harry over at Rose Hours. You all were the first. Tell us, what does this mean to Rose Hours? Why are you guys in this?
Well, I think that's cool. I didn't realize that Harry was the first until we were just over there talking to him. It was a brainchild of yours that said, hey, some of these things are just going in the trash. Why not give them to folks that can need them? Because they're still good and wholesome. Why not do that? So I think it's great. Obviously, it aligns perfectly with Rose Hours' mission to take care of health and nutrition needs in the community, right? So this fits perfectly in that. Obviously, we want to give back to the communities that give back to us. Rose Hours has been around since the 30s, if you can believe that.
That's crazy.
And actually, this program now is in every one of our stores from Bozeman to Hood River and down to Lewiston. So
awesome.
Hats off to you for making it happen. And now not only Spokane is being served, but all across the Northwest.
Oh, that's great. So how does it like for your employees and the team? How does this thing feel? What do you hear back from them?
They feel good about it because they feel, number one, it helps keep things out of the waste stream, and number two, it actually puts it to good use versus just throwing it away. Nicole, what do you think we could do better as Rose Hours or as a grocery industry? Because many of our competitors are involved in this. What's the biggest need? Is it produce? Is it meat? What can the community do if someone wanted to help out?
Produce is definitely number one, just because of the shortages, and dairy, so milk, yogurt, cheese, and meat also. because it's expensive.
So, Nicole, what else do you need to keep doing this great work? Is there something we can help with?
Absolutely. We always need volunteers.
Okay, some more
Monday
volunteers.
through Saturday. Yep. On Saturday, it takes about 40 to 50 volunteers to get the show running smoothly. And during the week, we can always use help with grocery rescue
Okay.
and with sorting. Come on and see
There's
us.
always something to do.
There's always something to do.
I said in the first episode of our Crusade Against Hunger that this Odyssey would be an audacious one because I believe hunger can be eradicated in our community. I also said it will only happen with the help of amazing people, like the ones I talked with today, and people like you. Come join our army and help us solve this complex issue. We are making an impact to eradicate hunger every day across eastern Washington and North Idaho by providing healthy, nutritious food to those who need it. But there's a lot more to do, and with your help, and with the help of many others, we can make it happen. Come see all the ways you can join our audacious crusade at 2-harvest.org. Thanks, and see you next time. Second Harvest, serving people facing hunger.